Moving to a new home is just universally stressful, right? Between packing up an endless sea of boxes, coordinating all the logistics, and finalizing a mountain of paperwork, the absolute last thing you need is a massive headache just trying to get the lights turned on. But the good news? We can completely eliminate that stress today. We're going to break down exactly how to easily establish your electric service with Appalachian Power online. So, moving soon? Are you dreading the thought of hidden utility fees suddenly popping up on that first bill? Or maybe you're just dreading spending your precious time stuck on hold listening to terrible elevator music. If you're completely new to setting up utilities, or honestly if you've just had bad experiences in the past, take a breath. It's gonna be okay. Are you ready for a much easier way? Let's get right into it. Meet the Appalachian Power 24/7 online portal. It is quite literally your stress-free solution for utility management. Think of this automated digital portal as the ultimate, always-open tool built specifically for residential customers. It lets you take total command of your energy service on your own schedule. And the absolute best part, you never have to pick up the phone and speak to a single agent if you don't want to. Okay, let's map out exactly what we'll be covering in today's explainer. First, before you begin. Second, the step-by-step setup. Third, navigating fees and deposits. Fourth, troubleshooting and FAQs. And finally, some final tips and a quick disclaimer. We're charting a clear course today to take you from a stressed-out mover to a totally empowered energy consumer. Section 1. Before you begin, eligibility and preparation. Let's start with the prep phase, just to make absolutely sure you actually qualify to use this slick online system. Our very first checkpoint is eligibility. Residential accounts are fully eligible for this online setup. Simple as that. However, if you're running a business or commercial account, you aren't eligible for the online portal. You'll actually need to call the business center directly because those commercial load profiles are just way too complex for the automated system. Before you even sit down at your keyboard, you're going to want to gather a few things. Here is a quick preparation checklist for you. You'll need an active email address, a solid password that's at least 8 characters long, and one validator to prove you are who you say you are. That validator can be your newly assigned utility account number, your registered phone number, or just the physical service address of the property. Getting this stuff together now will absolutely save you from any frustrating mid-process delays later. Moving right along to Section 2, step-by-step setup, the walkthrough. Now that we're all prepped, let's look at the actual clicks and buttons you need to get your digital profile up and running and your power turned on. Step 1 is super easy. Just head over to appalachianpower.com and click register. For Step 2, you'll input your contact details, including that 8-character password we just talked about. And Step 3, you need to authenticate your device via a 2-factor authentication text or an email code. I really want to emphasize this. That mandatory 2-factor authentication is absolutely crucial. It locks down your private data and keeps everything compliant with privacy regulations. Once you punch in that code, you are securely in the system. All right, once you're inside your secure dashboard, here is your main workflow. Step 1, navigate over to the Service Requests tab. Step 2, select whether you need to start, stop, or transfer your service. And Step 3, pick the specific activation dates for your property. Now, a quick aside here. If you're transferring service from an old home to a new one, you have to make sure your current account number is linked to your user ID before you even attempt to start the transfer process. Now, if you are actively moving, this next feature is a total game changer. It's called the overlapping service feature. Basically, it allows you to keep the power active at both your old address and your new address simultaneously for a specific period of time. It is literally a lifesaver. It guarantees you won't be left fumbling around in the dark at either house while you're spending your whole weekend moving boxes back and forth. Let's dive into Section 3, navigating fees and deposits. Insider Secrets. I love this section because it reveals how understanding the utility's standard operating protocol can actually keep some hard-earned cash in your pocket. Let's get the bad news out of the way first. There is one fee you simply cannot avoid, and that's a $12 connection charge. This standard fee is going to show up on your very first bill. Appalachian Power assesses this nominal charge to cover the administrative and technical costs of getting your service hooked up, both physically and digitally. But check out this amazing insider workaround we found in the documentation. If you need to pay an upfront security deposit or an initial bill, do not use the online portal's card system. Why? Because the online portal hits you with a $4 convenience fee. Plus, it comes with a 24 to 72-hour processing delay. No thanks. Instead, use the automated bill matrix phone system by calling 1-833-442-7583. Doing this drops the fee to exactly $0, and it posts immediately on the same day. This is a massive tip if you are on a tight timeline and need your power turned on right away without batch processing delays ruining your move-in schedule. And speaking of keeping cash in your pocket, if the system flags you for a security deposit, which happens pretty often for brand new customers, or if you've had a history of late payments, you don't necessarily have to fork over a giant pile of cash up front. You actually have 3 regulatory alternatives. First, you can provide a letter of credit, proving 12 months of on-time payments from a previous utility. Second, you can use a guarantor, meaning you get a written guarantee from someone who is already an active Appalachian Power customer. Or third, for qualifying low-income accounts, the Department of Social Services can step in and provide a security deposit guarantee. Using these alternatives is huge for protecting your household liquidity. Okay, on to Section 4, Troubleshooting and FAQs. Overcoming roadblocks. Let's be real, even the absolute best automated systems have hiccups. So let's talk about what to do if the portal suddenly blocks your request. Here is one of the biggest pain points people run into. What happens if the system hits you with an address mismatch error, or it just completely fails to sync with your location? This actually happens quite a bit with brand new construction homes or highly specific rural addresses, where the automated database just doesn't recognize the geographic footprint of your property yet.
If you hit that exact roadblock, the system will prompt you to call in, but you have to make sure you use the right number. Because Appalachian Power operates across multiple states, and because of strict State Utility Commission regulations, they maintain totally separate support lines. So here are the numbers you need. If you're in Virginia, call 1-800-956-4237. For West Virginia, it's 1-800-92-4237. And down in Tennessee, dial 1-800-967-4237. Definitely keep this specific number for your state handy, just in case things go sideways.
Here's another really critical question, especially for modern homeowners looking to tap into green energy. I'm installing rooftop solar on my new home. Does this change my move-in process? The short answer, yes, it absolutely changes your timeline significantly. So here is the deal. Grid-tied solar requires a specialized bidirectional meter. The utility requires a massive 10 to 20 business day lead time just to install this meter. And get this, that clock doesn't even start ticking until after your local electrical inspection has been successfully submitted. You have got to plan ahead and schedule this well before your move-in date to prevent some really messy billing discrepancies. Seriously, do not leave this to the last minute. All right, we made it to Section 5, Final Tips and Disclaimer. Wrapping up. Let's finish off our explainer with a really crucial tip about your billing rates, and then we'll run through our official verification disclaimer. When you're going through your online setup, try not to just blindly accept the standard flat rate billing. Take a quick second to evaluate their smart rate structures, like the smart time of use or smart demand plans. If you're the kind of person who can shift discretionary energy use, running the dryer or the dishwasher to off-peak hours or weekends, these plans can genuinely save you a ton of money. But major warning here. These plans require a strict minimum 12-month commitment. You can't just try it out and opt out the next month if you don't like it. So make absolutely sure your lifestyle truly fits an off-peak schedule before you sign up.
And now, our necessary disclaimer. Please always verify all details, fees, and state-specific regulations directly through official Appalachian Power resources, as utility terms can and do update. The information in this explainer is based on highly detailed current data pulled directly from the utility's documentation, but it's always smart to confirm the specifics with customer service, just to make sure you're covered against any recent regulatory changes.
So your service is set up, the move is finally complete, and the lights are on. Awesome. But let me ask you this. Are you truly maximizing your efficiency? How will you take control of your home's energy footprint today? I challenge you to look way beyond just paying that monthly bill and start actively managing how you consume energy. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, best of luck in your new home.